As some of you may remember, when we held our global dialogue last fall at the Graduate School of Management, St. Petersburg University, St. Petersburg, Russia, one of our subjects was, well, what is the ethics of migration, of immigration? Not the law, not the passions, not the fears, but the ethics, a sense of responsibility. If we have the moral sense as hosts in a country and new people are coming in, how should we act? If we have a moral sense as people moving to somebody else's country, where they and their families have been living for hundreds, thousands of years, what does our moral sense ask us to do? So we came up with a statement about comity, an old word from international law about mutual respect between nations and I would say today, peoples. Most interesting and surprising to me is that Pope Francis, on his recent visit to Abu Dhabi, which I think is quite historic. First time a Christian pope, Catholic pope, has visited the sands of Arabia, where Islam was born, where the revelations came to the Prophet Muhammad, where it grew, where it has a very powerful impact for since 600 AD. So a pope visited Abu Dhabi, and along with the imam of Al-Azhar University in Cairo, which I think is the oldest university in the Arabic world, maybe 1,000 years, and highly respected, these two religious leaders jointly drafted and signed a document which they talked about human fraternity. And it's very religious in content. I urge you to read it. We will circulate it in our newsletter, the next issue of our newsletter, Pegasus. But it talks about religious values in the Abrahamic tradition of the God of Israel and the Christians and the Muslims. But by bringing up this notion of human fraternity, it calls for peace, no war. It says religion should not be behind violence or wars. And it says that we need to find common moral ground for respect. This is exactly the same sentiment and vision for our human community that our small co-roundtable group was thinking about, was writing about last fall. And interestingly enough, just before the Pope's trip, on January 19th, we, the co-roundtable, Lord Brennan of England, our former chair, now our chair emeritus, facilitated, I took notes, we convened a small roundtable working session to discuss and consider texts, 6 texts of covenants made by the Prophet Muhammad with Christian communities, promising to respect and protect Christian communities. Exactly the same concept and spirit of openness and mutual respect and tolerance, which the Pope and the Imam resuscitated perhaps after centuries of enmity, just a few days ago in Abu Dhabi. So I hope this really is historic in the sense that it's a turning point towards better relations and the emergence of a common moral sense among all people.